Hello everyone. 85% of businesses consider partnerships essential for their success. However, if you look at the various studies, 60 to 70% of the joint ventures and the partnerships fail. Partnerships are quite fundamental for the success of any business. Today I'll talk about few basic principles on which if the businesses focus, they can assure that their partnerships succeed in a longer run. There are three key things which businesses should be focusing upon. First, the criteria. Why are they partnering? What is their wish list versus their need? Number two, working together. How they should be working together, setting out the responsibility and the ownership between the partners. And the number three, protection. What helps them manage their risk, resolve issues, conflicts, if any. If you look at the point number one, which is the criteria, that's where they need to assess their need to decide the type of partnership or the type of contract they should be entering into. This very much depend upon their risk appetite as well. Depending upon their risk appetite and the investment exposure that they are open to go for, they can look for non-joint venture partnership or a joint venture partnership. Non-JV partnership is something which brings low to moderate risk, low to moderate commitment and investment, but at the same time brings you the less control on the business. But if you go for a JV partnership, this is moderate to high risk, medium to high commitment, and the investment requires, but at the same time gives you a major control on the business. In order to decide on the partners, you must drill down and ask the probing questions to assess their capabilities to decide if they are the right partner. Ask for user cases, credentials, and references to validate their claim. Understand their expertise, interest, and capacity to frame what the partnership focus upon. And wherever feasible, visit their place of operation, meet, talk to their operational team to assess the strength on the ground. And if it's a promoter driven company, sense check if there is a succession plan in place. You may have a different objectives. You may like to do this partnership to market your products, to sell your products, to service your product, or to manufacture your product, or just for the know-how sharing. Depending upon that, you'd like to have a agency, distributor, service, supplier, manufacturing contract, licensing contract, or a franchising contract. So it's important that you assess all these criteria, especially going on to the objective side to decide which type of partnership or the contracting arrangement suits for you. Once you have ascertained that this is the type of partner I would be going for, then comes the point number two, that who does what. And that's where you need to understand, write down the what are the core competency which are required for succeeding this partnership, and discuss between the partners that who has got the what skills. uh, One of the partner could have the marketing, sales, or the service operations skills. Other could have the monitoring, manpower, technology, or the management systems related skills. So you need to work that out, that who has got the right skills. Assign the task, roles, and responsibility, that who would be doing what in this partnership. And another important thing is about the cultural consideration. If it is the international, the partnership, you need to be aware of local cultural nuances, the communication, the language, which are quite fundamental. And in order to make sure that there are no differences in opinion and you are aware of how the progress of partnership is going on, you should have a regular meetings and the progress reports, and there should be the milestones and the success criteria which can be reviewed on an ongoing basis. And wherever possible, transfer your these understanding with your partner in your contractual agreements, and also see that how the Indian businesses or the partners, they react to your request on an ongoing basis. when you have when you have worked out the role and responsibility and who should be doing what, and start reflecting those into the agreement, the third most important step is the about thinking about the protection. What will happen if there is a conflict in the future? What should be the plan for resolving those conflict? And you should not forget that sometimes businesses do talk about that my partner, they are not promoting my portfolio at all. They are copying my ideas. They are not delivering to the sales promised. Uh, they are quite protective of their relationship, and I just simply don't know what's going on. So, in order to make sure that you have a right resolution model in place, make sure that you have few important clauses there in your partnership agreement, which could be uh, arbitration clauses. The contract should be time bound, and you should be beware of the exclusive clauses if they are. And wherever possible, insert the performance clauses, include the indemnification limits, and considering COVID, well define the force majeure clauses, have confidentiality and the non disclosure agreement, and also include the non compete clause if necessary. And the most important tip is wherever possible, try to resolve the conflict by amicable consultation. That should be your first goal. And just resist the temptation for going to the judicial side of the things. So, if I need to summarize, is there are three key principles if you will follow, you can ensure the success of your partnerships. The first one is about the criteria. Understand and define the type of agreement which is strategically right for you. Confirm the credentials and capabilities of prospective partner. Be comfortable. You can develop good working relationship. And on the step two, just make sure that everyone is clear about their role and responsibility and the skills and the competency, and frame this appropriately into the agreement. And last but not the least is about the protection side, and that's where make sure that all the possible future conflict possibilities and how to address that, those are reflected properly in your contract. And once you are doing this, take an appropriate, the legal support for reviewing the draft and finalizing it. But those functional and the basic understanding between the partners, those should be clear at the front, and these kind of open conversations are required between both the partners before getting into a formal agreement. Because don't forget that most of the partnership or the joint ventures, they fail because of non synergy in terms of long term alignment of the thinking of the businesses on both the sides. And wherever there is not an alignment in their business plan, the long term objectives, there are chances of failure of the partnership. So with that, I'd like to close my talk for today. Hope you like it.